Alaska, in a rugged mountainscape. Let me just pan over to Denali. Obviously, I'm kidding. This is Nebraska, and it's flat as a pancake. So when you live here and you get this, how do you prepare for this? Obviously, you go to the biggest hill around. Also, the only hill around. Tornado Hill, which started as a hole in the ground. Which has a very interesting history. Might want to look that up if you have the time. Woo, yeah, I did it. Alright. Feel the burn. What do we got here? 30 feet? I'm gonna need a bigger hill. Some help you are, Nebraska. Alright. Guess we're gonna have to get creative. Groovy. So since there's nothing close to a mountain, I decided to try to simulate it with the Stairmaster and incline tread, and I used 30 pounds of weight to overload. The Stairmaster doesn't really simulate climbing up a mountain because it can't really replicate an angle, and only really works the quads, and unfortunately the treadmills only go up to about 15-degree angle, and average steepness of Mount Marathon is 34 degrees, so it's not even close. In any case, it was time to actually go and scout the course, which is good because... So I was trying to go up the down part, which is much steeper, and I was on my hands and knees scrambling up the loose stuff. I was like, holy crap, this is going to take forever. That's fortunately some couple coming down redirecting me back here to the right path. And this is pretty hikeable. So I think like 300 more feet to the top. Alright, here's the marker and the rock. Hopefully next time up on the race I'll know which way to go and make it a lot easier on myself. But I'm going to continue up a little bit here actually. Get some views. Then after watching the boat parade and the fireworks show, it's time to get some sleep before race day.
I guess that'll be the end.
Alright, start to sprinkle.
They can't force us to run packed up right now. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we were off. We start out the half mile or so running through town, and I should have gone all out here because of this flattened terrain that I'm used to doing. I had to build up a little bit of cushion on the experienced climbers. And right away at the trailhead it starts you scrambling over the cliff section, which is hands required. So basically in these parts I was content to just kind of follow behind what I hope is an experienced climber and just kind of emulate what they do. And, you know, try not to fall and whatnot, but really wasn't a problem, because it was actually pretty dry, even though it looked like it was going to maybe get some rain, but we really didn't. And I was running in my Ultra King MTs, which actually did the job pretty well. I was pretty happy with those. And this we're going up to the roots section. It's pretty soft dirt and slow going, and there's a bunch of branching paths you can take. I just kind of latched onto someone and kind of followed behind them. And the thing about the wide-angle GoPro lens, it really doesn't give a true appreciation of the steepness involved. And honestly, since it was so steep, most of my footage going up was just a close-up of the ground, which isn't terribly useful. And here we're breaking out of the tree line and going up to the rocky trail to the top. All the spectators and locals were really great, and you pretty much had people lined up along course almost all the way to the top. At this point, getting pretty winded, hands on thighs, just putting one foot in front of the other, or hand as need be. Here I am getting close to the top. You can see to the right some of the runners going down. Given the steepness and the rocky terrain, this is definitely harder than going up, say, Pikes Peak. But at least you don't have to worry about altitude sickness, since it's only 3,000 feet above sea level.
There you go, guys. Nice job.
Water!
And around the race turnaround rock, and you can see the magnificent views up at the top here.
Get buddy. Coming up on your right.
So here's where the fun begins, going down. And that's the real adventure, as you can see here. Alright, so you can see my shoes a couple times here. I'm pretty much just sliding down my butt right now because it's so steep. Most races on a downhill, I feel I have an advantage over most people because I'm tall, 6'4", and I can just stride out and really eat up some distance. But here, being tall is actually a disadvantage because I have a higher center of gravity, and it's much easier to fall over. And there's a guy that must have taken a pretty nasty stumble at some point. Looks like he's shaking it off. And this is the part that really killed me. Not literally, thankfully, but in terms of the race. Because I just got passed left and right and got literally left in the dust. And this is the kind of thing I just had no ability to train for it. And there's really skill involved in doing downhill, especially super technical downhill like this. And they say if you're not bleeding at the end of this, you didn't try hard enough. And, well, that's probably true. And I also just didn't really want to, fall and get myself hurt, because I've done that before. Last time on the Pikes Peak, as you can see here, took a really nasty spill, and especially with my knees, it took almost a week before I could really even walk right, and probably 3 weeks before I could even run again. And with my whole Alaska trip up ahead, I really didn't want to end up like that again, so I played it pretty safe. And here we're going down the chute and headed toward the gut, which is slippery and wet. Staying to the left here will take you down the cliffs, which would be pretty technical, so I opted to go right onto the switchbacks, which are definitely a lot safer, but maybe more time consuming, although in my case maybe not, since I have no technical experience in going down. And then we're back in the flat and going through town, and I felt like I was turning up quite a bit, and I did catch a guy in passing, but looking at this footage I was going really slow. So overall, an amazing experience, a true bucket list race. I'm very thankful I got to run it. I am a little disappointed I didn't break an hour though, and just looking at the results here to see what my training did, I was pretty satisfied with how I was able to climb the mountain, as I was at place 109 at the top, and like I said, I split on place 222 going down, which was really what killed me there. Nonetheless, I did finish in the top half of the race, unfortunately not top half of my age group, which is what I needed for an automatic bid to come back. So if I want to do this again, I'm going to have to enter the lottery again. So hopefully I'll be back someday. But until then, happy trails to you.